Pompeii was an ancient Roman city inhabited by approximately 20,000 people. Today, we can only appreciate its ruins. It is located at the foot of Mount Vesuvius, which rises 2,200 meters above sea level, near the Bay of Naples, Italy. This volcano, in 79 AD, experienced a devastating eruption that devastated Pompeii and Herculaneum. For this reason, Pompeii is the object of great scientific interest, since it seeks to discover and study the vestiges of this ancient civilization and its monuments. In this video, dear friends, we will explore together the discoveries made in this city. But before continuing, I invite you to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell to receive notifications about our upcoming content. Although many saw Mount Vesuvius as simply a mountain, it was actually a dormant volcano. Inside, it hid a dangerous lava deposit. The eruption of the volcano occurred in August 79 AD. Scientists have dedicated themselves to investigating the antiquities found in Pompeii, including remains of food, clothing and artistic works that reflect the lives of its inhabitants. Some of these works show the impact and danger they faced after the volcanic eruption. This catastrophic event has intrigued scientists, who continue to investigate to understand how and why the destruction of Pompeii occurred. The ancient washing method of the Roman civilization in Pompeii. It is said that this civilization had peculiar traditions that were part of its daily life. About 2,000 years ago, there were public laundries where people from various cities and towns came to use them. The restoration of one of these buildings cost an impressive 105 million euros. These public wash houses had large stone basins and platforms where the cleaning and washing process took place. In ancient times, urine was used in the cleaning process due to its high ammonia content, considered a useful element for cleaning tasks in the absence of modern detergents and soaps. The technique involved collecting a large amount of urine into containers, adding a little water, and soaking the clothes until the stains and dirt dissolved. Furthermore, through the study of fossils, it has been discovered that the inhabitants of Pompeii enjoyed excellent dental health. Contrary to what might be expected at the time, these residents had remarkably healthy teeth and lacked the common dental problems of ancient times. Numerous studies have confirmed that this population did not suffer from cavities or periodontal diseases, unlike other contemporary populations. It is believed that this is mainly because the inhabitants of this civilization consumed healthy and nutritious foods. In contrast, in today's era, we tend to consume foods rich in sugar and processed. In the civilization of Pompeii, the basic diet consisted of fruits, vegetables and cereals, with a very limited consumption of sugars. Additionally, the environment at Pompeii, given its volcanic nature, was enriched with high levels of fluoride. This fluoride, possibly present in the water and food they consumed, contributed to dental strengthening and prevented the formation of cavities, which would explain the remarkable dental health of its inhabitants. The Villa of Mystery is recognized as one of the best preserved sites of antiquity. This villa stands out for housing numerous mural paintings, considered among the most significant and complex works of art from the Roman era. These artistic representations reflect the splendor and cultural richness of the inhabitants of this ancient civilization. The mural paintings have aroused the interest of scholars and visitors, generating diverse interpretations. While some experts suggest that the paintings reflect the arts performed in the village, others argue that they represent different stages of human life, from birth to death. It is widely accepted that the Romans enjoyed a luxurious life in this city, as evidenced by the paintings and the social and ritual structures that can be seen. These cultural representations reveal the depth and extravagance of Roman society, highlighting its artistic and cultural legacy. Despite the time that has passed, the Villa del Misterio continues to attract numerous visitors who seek to admire its cultural and artistic monuments. While Pompeii was immersed in the richness and complexity of daily life at the heart of the Roman Empire, a few kilometers to the north, Ostia Antica served an equally vital function, but with a markedly different focus. Located just 30 kilometers southwest of Rome, Ostia Antica stands as an impressive testament to the maritime and commercial power of ancient Rome. Founded in the 4th century BC, this port city played a crucial role as the main port of the empire's capital, serving as a gateway for goods, people and cultures flowing to and from the heart of Rome. Over the centuries, Ostia Antica prospered as a bustling commercial and cultural center. Its docks were filled with ships loaded with grain from Africa, wines from the Italian peninsula and exotic goods from the Far East. With the rise of Roman expansion, the city grew in importance and wealth, reflected in its magnificent buildings, paved streets and residential complexes. The urban design of Ostia Antica reveals meticulous planning. Its rectilinear streets, squares and public buildings, such as theaters, baths and markets, offer a vivid glimpse of daily life in a Roman city. One of the most fascinating aspects of Ostia is its ability to transport the visitor through time, allowing a deep understanding of the complexities of life in the Roman Empire. As time progressed and the empire began to decline, Ostia Antica underwent significant changes. Despite attempts at revitalization during the late imperial period, the city eventually fell into decay, abandoned and forgotten for centuries. However, this inadvertent abandonment turned out to be a blessing in disguise, as the lack of subsequent development preserved many of its buildings and artifacts, offering modern archaeologists and visitors a unique window into the past. Today, Ostia Antica is an impressive archaeological site that attracts thousands of visitors each year. The ruins of the ancient city, from the apartments of the working class to the opulent palaces of merchants and officials, offer a panoramic view of Roman society at its peak. Walking through its streets, temples and theaters, one cannot help but feel the palpable presence of the past, remembering the glory days of Ostia Antica as the vital port of majestic Rome. While Ostia Antica served as the vibrant seaport that connected majestic Rome to the vast Mediterranean world on the shores of the Aegean Sea, the city of Ephesus emerged as a cultural, political and commercial beacon of the Greek and Roman world. Located on the shores of the Aegean Sea in what is now Turkey, Ephesus stands as one of the most impressive and best preserved ancient cities in the world. Founded in the 2nd millennium BC, this city flourished into a prosperous, culturally and commercially vital metropolis during the Greek and Roman periods. The first thing that captivates the visitor upon arriving in Ephesus is its vast and majestic agora, a space that served as the nerve center of public and commercial life. From there, cobblestone streets and towering colonnades lead to some of the city's most iconic monuments, such as the Temple of Artemis. This temple, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, was a place of worship dedicated to the goddess Artemis and a symbol of the opulence and importance of Ephesus in ancient times. However, beyond its famous monuments, what makes Ephesus truly fascinating is its ability to offer a deep insight into daily life in an ancient city. The remains of its ancient streets, homes, public baths and theaters reveal a complex and dynamic society, where merchants, artisans, philosophers and ordinary citizens coexisted in a vibrant tapestry of activities and beliefs. The Theatre of Ephesus, one of the largest ancient theaters in the world, is another impressive testament to the city's splendor. With the capacity to accommodate more than 25,000 spectators, this theater served as a stage for theatrical performances, public assemblies and social events, highlighting Ephesus' important role as the cultural and political center of the region. As time progressed, Ephesus experienced transformations and challenges, from conquests and reconstructions to its eventual decline in the medieval era. However, his legacy endured through the centuries, and today, the archaeological site of Ephesus attracts visitors from all over the world. Exploring its ruins, from the spectacular Temple of Hadrian to the Library of Celsus, one cannot help but feel transported back to the golden age of this ancient city, capturing the essence and splendor of what was once the jewel of the Aegean, Ephesus. From the splendor and urban sophistication of Ephesus on the sunny shores of the Aegean Sea, we head north, across vast landscapes and tumultuous seas, to reach the inhospitable shores of Scotland. There, In striking contrast to the majestic columns and temples of Ephesus, lies Scarab, a silent but powerful testimony to early human communities and their ways of life in a world not yet dominated by the structures and grandeur of civilizations. Ancient Scarab hides on the remote and mysterious coasts of Scotland, emerging as an archaeological treasure that sheds light on the dawn of human civilization in these lands. Located on the island of Mainland in the Orkney Islands, this Neolithic settlement offers a fascinating glimpse into the daily lives of its inhabitants approximately 5,000 years ago. What makes Scarab particularly notable is its exceptional state of preservation. Despite the centuries that have passed and the natural elements that have challenged its existence, the stone structures that make up this ancient town have stood the test of time impressively. Walking through its narrow streets and entering its underground dwellings, one is immersed in a world where the community lived in close harmony with nature and its limited resources. The houses of Scarab, built of circular stones and covered with peat to provide insulation, show remarkable planning and architectural knowledge for the time. Each home is equipped with designated areas for sleeping, cooking, and storing food, evidencing a society that valued organization and comfort within its limitations. Although the exact purpose and ultimate fate of Scarab remain shrouded in mystery, archaeological excavations have revealed tools, artifacts, and human remains that provide invaluable clues into the life, beliefs, and practices of its ancient inhabitants. This evidence suggests a resilient and adaptive community that depended on the sea, agriculture, and community collaboration to survive in a challenging environment. Today, Scarab stands as a quiet but evocative testament to the deep roots of human civilization in Scotland and beyond. Through its ruins and artifacts, visitors have the unique opportunity to connect with our Neolithic ancestors, honoring their legacy and recognizing the importance of places like this in the global narrative of human history. Ultimately, Scarab is not just an archaeological site. It is a window to the past that invites us to reflect on our connection with previous generations and the continuous search for understanding about the origins of our existence as a civilization. The ancient past contains a fascinating mystery, and although scientists have managed to decipher many of its secrets, enigmas still persist that defy our understanding. Not all statues and rock formations are easily explained, from perfect columns to constructions so astonishing they defy belief. In this episode, we will explore these intriguing structures and buildings that continue to defy any logical explanation. Join me on this journey to discover the secrets of these architectural enigmas. The creation of many beautiful statues in ancient times, whose human origin is plausible and credible, is overshadowed by those that provoke awe and admiration, such as the monumental statue of Buddha in the Chinese city of Leshan. Located on Mount Ame, this statue stands directly on the rock, reaching an imposing height of 71 meters, with the head rising to 15 meters and a width of approximately 30 meters. This majestic work is believed to be over 1,000 years old, and scientists postulate that its construction took place during the Tang dynasty in the 8th century. Although the Chinese have historically demonstrated remarkable engineering prowess, the creation of such a magnificent structure raises questions. Not only is this a challenging task for the time, but the presence of other stone images nearby further complicates the mystery. Is it plausible that something so grand could have been erected without the use of machinery? Although it is stated that construction took 90 years, the magnitude of the work seems to defy logic even for that long duration. Among the local population, there are diverse beliefs. Some maintain that the statue is the product of advanced civilizations, while others even speculate about its extraterrestrial origin. What is your opinion? Although the Buddha statue can find a certain explanation, not all unknowns are so simple. An example of this is Nanmadol, a place you may have never heard of. This archipelago, located in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, surprises by revealing the existence of stone palaces, temples, tombs, and residences built between the 13th and 16th centuries. These findings defy expectations of what could be found in seemingly remote corners, offering an enigma still unsolved. The question remains, who could have embarked on the construction of something so monumental in such distant lands? Scientific explanation suggests that this remote location could have housed the local elite and members of high society, perhaps serving as the government residence. Although this theory has some validity, an intriguing detail emerges. The archipelago has virtually no sources of fresh water. Is this a suitable location for a capital or government headquarters? Personally, I find this aspect quite questionable. Another hypothesis suggests that the Nanmadol complex had cult relevance and religious significance. Although this idea could be true, it remains only a conjecture so far. The complex has suffered significant damage, making it difficult to understand its exact function. Scientists have not yet managed to unravel this mystery. Moving towards Ethiopia, we find the city of Lalibela, seemingly ordinary except for its churches. These structures not only capture interest but baffle even modern scientists, as they were carved from stone and volcanic rocks. Each of the 13 churches is unique and incomparable, standing out for its unique style. Some are located in rock cavities, surrounded by stone formations, while others were sculpted directly into cliffs. According to scientists, these churches were erected between the 12th and 13th centuries, and their construction was completed in an astonishing period of 25 years. Ethiopia, an African country whose ancient inhabitants were not distinguished by advanced knowledge and skills, lacking unique tools, raises an intriguing question. How was this feat possible? Even today, creating something similar is not easy. Researchers are perplexed by the extraordinary creation of these dazzling and impressive churches in Ethiopia. The fact that they were built with primitive tools in a span of just a quarter of a century remains an unsolved enigma. The response of the locals suggests the intervention of higher forces. According to local legend, both human workers and angels descended to earth to assist in the construction of these churches. It was the angels who urged Lalibela, the ruler of the time, to erect these structures, thus merging the efforts of ordinary workers and celestial beings in the creation of these architectural monuments. Africa holds more mysteries than is commonly known, and goes beyond the famous Egyptian pyramids. Now, we know the mysterious Ethiopian churches. Another architectural enigma occurs in Great Zimbabwe, an ancient city in South Africa whose construction began in the 9th century, and reached its peak in the 12th century. Is it a simple coincidence that these wonderful Ethiopian churches were carved in stone during the same period? The distinctive feature of Great Zimbabwe lies in its unique architectural features. All the buildings were built with identical blocks of stone, stacked on top of each other without using any stabilizing material, and even so, they are preserved in good condition. Abandoned in the 15th century, it remained unchanged for a century until Europeans discovered it in the 19th century. As archaeologists explored Great Zimbabwe, they encountered a puzzle. Who built these buildings? They did not appear to be the work of local tribes. The answer came through a local legend that describes the city as being built by a mysterious people, described in stories as supernatural beings capable of flying and moving stones with their minds. These beings shared the city with local tribes before mysteriously disappearing. The mystery remains: who exactly were these supernatural beings? Some suggest the possibility that they were extraterrestrials, while others consider the hypothesis of representatives of an advanced civilization. After leaving, according to legend, to help other peoples build luxurious buildings around the world, it would not be surprising if these beings, whether extraterrestrials or a human race endowed with supernatural powers, also had a role in the construction of monuments. Mysterious, perhaps his influence extends to the creation of the Temple of Jupiter in Lebanon, located in the ancient city of Baalbek. At first glance, the ruined temple might look like a typical ancient Eurasian relic. However, this temple is exceptional. It features one of the most amazing blocks of rock on the planet, known as the Pregnant Woman's Stone. Approximately 2,000 years old and weighing more than 1,000 tons, this stone has impressive dimensions, 20 meters long, 4 meters wide and high. What is notable is that the block is polished to the extremes, despite the wear and tear of time. The intrigue increases when considering that only part of the stone is shown, since it fell and has become impossible to lift. Even with the presence of advanced modern machines, this task would be practically unapproachable. It would require several dozen powerful cranes that cannot be located in the area. The mystery remains: if modern technologies cannot handle this stone, how did the ancients achieve its creation 2,000 years ago? It is an enigma that involves the meticulous treatment and polishing of the stone, as well as its transportation. However, the stone of the pregnant woman is only one element of Baalbek and its temple complex. At this location, there are numerous colossal blocks, carved columns and other extremely heavy objects, each weighing around 800 tons. Scholars still cannot understand who the builders of these buildings were and, most intriguingly, why they needed them. This mystery deepens even further when we consider that Lebanon was under Roman rule and was not near the center of power of the empire when these monumental structures were erected on the outskirts. It is possible that the truth behind the construction in Baalbek is different, perhaps representative of an advanced civilization. Some scholars even hold the theory that only giants could have been the architects of these structures. A recently deceased researcher was convinced that the evidence supported the existence of extraterrestrials, arguing that how could such majestic blocks of stone be created by humans? The magnificence lies not only in the size of the individual buildings, but also in their decoration and treatment.